Hello! Did you miss me? I had a much needed break last week and I am now back. Hello! I have returned. I do apologise, I took a week off filming last week. I just fancied a break because I didn't want to overdo it. But I'm back now, refreshed as ever, and I am going to revisit the £59 gaming PC UK edition. If you've not seen the original £59 gaming PC video, then I will put a link in the description below, but also there will be a banner up here somewhere on particular devices which will let you watch the video. So without further ado, we'll jump in and have a look at what upgrades we're going to make. Okay, so here is the beast again, just to jog your memory. So, just to recap, HD 5450 I mean, graphics card that we added. There was a dual core CPU running at, I can't remember, 2 point something gigahertz, which is upgradable to a quad core, a Core 2 quad rather. There was a mechanical hard drive that seemed to be really slowing things down. It's tucked right under there somewhere. And we also are struggling because there is only 2 gig of DDR2. So, I went shopping on the last video and I bought another 2 gig of DDR2, which we will put in now, one-handed. Now that is skill. If I can get it in. Right. Pop. That is in. We now have 4 gig of DDR2. What else did I get? I ordered an SSD. I actually ordered it just before the prices dropped quite dramatically. So, I've decided to get a better SSD. I did buy a 30GB one, but now I have an integral performance SSD which has a monstrous 120GB of space, storage, whatever you want to call it. I call it space. So we will get that fitted. Here's a SATA cable that I prepared earlier, which we'll just plug in the back. This is really tricky with one hand. So much so that I'm going to go off camera and attach it. Job done. The SSD has been fit. And next we need to remove the dual core processor, which I will do with one hand. So we'll unscrew using the screw down there. You've seen all these Dell PCs before. Once it becomes loose on both sides, it just lifts off and underneath we will see the processor. This is actually still plugged in and switched on. I probably won't recommend that, but never mind, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so both screws are now loose. So we'll lift that off. And underneath we've got an absolutely caked in cooling paste dual core processor. So we flick the little thingamajob here and we can then lift. Oh, the graphics card's in the way. There we go. Can lift that out. Bang. No, didn't get electrocuted. And we are going to clean off camera the heatsink and I will be back in a moment. Okay, so now we have a new quad-core CPU which won't come into shot, but I assure you it is a Q6600 Core 2 quad. So, quite simple to fit processor. You're probably already aware how to do it if you're watching my videos or have seen any before. But you can line up the arrow with, there's a little diagram of an arrow, picture of an arrow, scribe of an arrow on the socket itself. Well, the bit that has the pin thing that holds it in. So we'll line that up. I will just plonk it in. There we go, and then we can just pop that back down. and secure it with that arm there. So we've now got a very clean heatsink, which we need to add cooling paste to the processor. So I'll just do that with my spare hand. Very challenging, but I will get there. Okay, so we've got some Arctic MX4 which we're going to use in here. Really good cooling paste. Just a little blob, pea-sized, less than a pea-sized perhaps. Petit pois maybe. And then we will just put the heatsink back on top of the processor, and we will secure it with the screws again. Job done. SSD, 4 gig of DDR2 and a quad-core processor. Let's fire it up and see if it plays any games. Right, first things first, can we play CSGO? Well, we're getting to about 19, maybe 20 frames per second. Oh, drops very low in the smoke. Yeah, this is not playable. Yeah, definitely not playable. The bottleneck here is the GPU. If you look at the top of the screen there, you can't actually see the top of the screen. There we go. So, top of the screen, the GPU is running at 98%, the CPU is only running at 37%, and yeah, we'll stop playing this. Okay, next up we have Rocket League, and I have put everything on the lowest settings, and it's not looking good. We're getting 12 frames per second. There's probably a bit more I could do with some of the settings. I've seen some videos out there that really do help you get the best out of this game, but sadly out of the box this is a definite no-no. And last but not least we have Fortnite. So, ooh, heck, we're getting 11, whoa, less. 3, 4, 5 frames per second. Let's see what happens when we get on the ground. So, we go up to 12 then, 12 frames per second. But again, the CPU's only running at 50% and the RAM is 462 megabytes. So the bottleneck there is the GPU yet again. Right, now we're on the ground, we're getting 14, maybe 15 frames per second. But this is not really playable online. You will get absolutely destroyed if you try and play with this setup, for obvious reasons. Right, so we need to upgrade the graphics card on this PC, without a doubt. So I will be doing that at some point. I would appreciate it if you suggested a very cheap card that will run games like this in the description below. Do try and select something low profile so that it fits in the case, because I do really want to put the lid back on the case. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.